Hi, I'm Josh McBride, and this is Megan, my wife, and this is Derek, our little one, who is due to be born on Christmas Day. We are missionaries in Costa Rica, and we serve the indigenous people up in the mountains. The Nobe people were there before the Costa Ricans were there. A lot of Costa Ricans are racist toward them, which means they can't get the good jobs. They have to pick coffee in the fields under the hot sun 7 days a week.
And because of that, they don't have enough money for daycare, so oftentimes the Nobe people will actually papoose the babies in trees while they're picking, and once they become old enough to pick 3 or 4, then they'll be right along with their parents picking, because the more hands picking, the more money that they'll be able to get as a family.
Governmentally, Costa Rica is a Catholic country. However, here in the mountains, there's a lot of animism, and the Catholicism that is there is very mixed with the occult and just very dark overall.
The Bickle family are missionaries in this area and have recently planted their 3rd church. The New Testament has been translated into Noberi, the language of the Nobe people, but since most of them can't read, Ryan Bickle has been giving them SD cards with an audio version of the Bible on it.
Besides the church, the Bickles are involved in many other ministries, specifically an orphanage, a women's refuge, and several feeding centers. Each day, Megan and I will teach art and music and Bible at the orphanage, and every evening we will be leading the 2 feeding ministries.
The feeding ministries were originally started for families who didn't have enough money to provide for their children. If the government found out that they couldn't provide the needed food, then the government would take the children away. So each evening we'll be starting off with songs and teaching the Bible, and then we'll be feeding the children, and if their parents come as well, we'll feed them too.
Children as well as families have been saved through this ministry as we feed them not only physically, but spiritually as well.
Before I met Josh, I had the privilege of staying with the Bickles for a couple months and working at their children's home as one of the moms in the cabin. I loved the variety of ages that I had. I remember the first night when I had a little baby boy in the room with me, and I'm looking forward to having one of my own now. I also had a 16-year-old in my cabin who was deaf, but her mama never sent her to a school for deaf, so she had no form of communication. There was also a 15-year-old girl who had 3 children already. This is a very common thing in the Nobe culture.
Since I was young, God's been preparing me for and giving me a burden for the children of Latin America, and I'm so excited that together we get to be a part of what God's doing in the mountains there in Santa Maria. Your prayer and financial support means so much to my family as well as to the people that we're serving. If your family or a group from your church would like to come see the ministry firsthand and be a part of God's work here, we would love to have you.